Man, welcome everybody to Your Voice in My Headset on Friendship. What a day, what a week it has been. And so, Nora, what you got for today?
Well, we've kind of been on this topic of teams, what it means to be a team, what it what is required when you're a team member. And so, I don't know if we want to dig into that more.
Yeah, Rosanna, anything you wanted to accomplish?
Oh, that sounds like a good route to go. I'm interested.
So I don't know if we have the history of that is going to be connected into this. I'm honestly not sure. And so, um, that history is so important to what we're doing. So I've told the story two, three times. I think we've got it recorded a couple times. I think maybe the one. So where does that go in here? Because this is going to be a journey. This is going to be 3 weeks. It's going to be 10 weeks, 12 weeks. This might be a year, 2 years. Who knows how long it's going to be? And so I've got assignments, but I'm guessing nobody's done any of those assignments. Do either of you know what the assignment is?
Was it to listen
Let's
to the
just,
original one
So
and then do an up and out?
that would be one. So that would be one. So that would be the Saturday, that would be the Saturday one. And so, getting the media team to get that up there. And so we have context there. And so here we have, okay, so here we have that. So good. Okay, what's the next assignment after that?
Do
I
an up
think
and
I
out.
understood it to be a circle that you're supposed to put what you believe a team is supposed to be,
Right. Yep.
kind of like
Other,
a passion circle.
yeah, it's like a passion circle. You just do, and what does a team mean to me? Or what do I think? Yeah, something about that. And so I don't know if there's other things between those two, but that's the thing that's in my mind. That's the next piece. Was there something else, Nora, you were thinking?
No, just like an up and out on what you thought about it. But
Okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so once that's done, what's the next piece? So what does a team mean to me? I think that's what it is. What does a team mean to me? And draw a circle and list out the things or a paragraph. I don't know what it is. So we won't know until we try it. Did it work? Did it not work? Okay, it worked. Great. Do it again. It didn't work. Okay. Okay. So we get that done. What's the next thing after that?
Start putting it into place.
What's
For
it
others.
mean to me? What does a team mean to me? So I write that down. What does a team mean to me? What's the next circle or the next paragraph?
It would be the mission statement.
Um, I don't know. Okay. So this is meaning. This is the feeling. Like what feeling do you get in being part? Maybe that's what it is. It's what's the feeling. So what we're doing is we're creating something brand new. It was determined Mark sucked. And this has hurt his family, his business, everything. So Mark loves when he figures out that he sucks because then he can fix it. Like he didn't know I sucked at building teams. Like just never thought of it. And then I do. And so when I find out that I'm not doing something, so I'm not very smart. Otherwise, I'd have seen this, but I am a hard worker because people like where they're at. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to find out they sucked at something because, whatever. Okay. So now we say, what's the feeling you're going to get when you're on the team? Maybe that's what it is. When, and both of you, like I'm looking for both of you to either do this or to drive it forward. And so, okay. So after, like, what feeling do you like when you're on a team? What feeling do you want to get from being on that team? I don't know, maybe. Um, what benefits do I want to get from being on the team? So here's the feeling. What does a team mean to me? What are the feelings of it? What benefits specifically? That's WIFM. What's in it for me? I'm going to be on this team, and this is the benefits that I want to get from it. What's the next piece? So you got one, meaning or feeling. Two is what's the benefits to me personally. And then what's the third one?
How will it help others?
No. First is what it means to me or the feeling I get. Second is how it's going to benefit me. Third is going to be what's my responsibility to be part of the team? If I'm going to get this benefit, this is the benefit. You want as much benefit as you can, because then you get, then you get more input. Like, I'm going to get the benefit from it. I'm going to get huge benefit. So what I need to do is I need to have responsibility. This is where you and I, Nora, have make mistakes, and we hurt people, teams that we're on, because we carry so much of the weight and we don't even think about it. Like, I don't know, it's not that big a deal. Like, we just do it. So what that does is that's like a hamstring with a sciatic nerve. Like, we're pouring all this into the team, and we don't realize we're not allowing the team to develop their own muscles. So what they're doing is they're riding on us, Nora.
Okay.
And so we're the hamstring. We're the, so we're the problems. So, like, because we're too good, because we care too much, because we give too much, because we pull too much. And so other people are like, well, Nora or Mark, they're just going to do it. And eventually we're like, well, somebody's got to do it because there's responsibilities for the team. So I told my kids when they were teenagers, I said, kids, you're right. Your dad's the problem. I told them that. They thought that was really cool. But it's not where you think it is. Dad's the problem, but it's not what you think it is. And so I'm going to go ahead and be attacked more than you. Why is that, Nora?
You're a man. I don't know.
I'm a man. I am going to point out people's flaws. You're not going to go ahead and, from what I've seen, you are not going to go ahead and force the issue. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. It's just my observation is that you are not going to force the issue. There are benefits to doing that, and there are weaknesses. There's pros and there's cons.
I think my train of thought on that has always been that if somebody takes advantage of me, then it's actually on me because I allow it to. So if I'm a team player or a team member and I carry the load for someone else, then that's on me. That's a choice I made. So I don't have, I mean, yeah, I can bring it up and say, hey, like address it. But if they continue to put it on me and I just do it because, well, it has to be done, then it's actually on me because I allow it to happen or
Okay,
I
so
allow it to continue.
it's honorable. I wouldn't disagree. I think that's good. But what is that? What good does that do to the team?
Well, yeah, right. It doesn't, but it's like, I can't, it's not, that's when I don't know what to
So what do you do? What do you do when people take advantage of you? You own it. You say, you know what? Like people say, hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice, shame on me. you know, like, okay, you hurt me once, you bite me. Okay, you bite me once. Okay, that's on you. You shouldn't have bit me. But if you do it again, shame on me. And so, like, what have you experienced in the past when people on the team or the team does not go ahead, like people don't step up? What do you do?
I mean, if it's something that has to be done and it affects you, then I tend to just do it. Um, I don't know.
But if
Yeah,
you do it, is that going to help them learn anything?
well,
Well, no,
right,
but it's gonna affect you. So you have to make that choice of, do I just do it to get where I need to go, or do I not? And then
right,
at what point do you just get new team members? Like if
right,
somebody's not gonna be a team member, team player, then at what point do you like, well, I have to have somebody that's a team player and just, I guess, replace them.
right, right. So it's so you know and there's all this it's like it's so much like parenting, it's insane. Like Cheryl, when she was at Coffee Connection, she said her sister said, the one who rents this place, she said lazy moms do the work.
Yeah, I can see that. I tend to do that too.
Yeah, and I think I do it too, because I just what I like.
It's easier and faster to just do it, but then in the long run, it's way harder.
Right, right. But when when do you give up on a team member? What if, what if you're married to them? What if they're a business partner? What if they're your mom or dad? What if they're your child? What do you do then? So I was reading in the Wall Street Journal today about the war and Trump. And, so you have hard power, you have military power. So you have military power, and that's hard force. But then he's using economic and other types. So he has levers, they say it. He has multiple levers to create leverage to move somebody into where you think they need to be. And so, from a personality perspective, I think it's wise to go ahead and try to be amiable and be nice. If that doesn't work, all right, we'll try to explain to them why this is not going to go well for them if they continue to do that. And then if you go ahead and then you move here and you go ahead and you move here and you say to the expressive, you say, okay, now you get some sass, you get joking around, maybe some shaming, you joke, you do whatever. And then if that doesn't work, then you go into the driver mode. And so, like, how cool would it be at Coffee Connection to say you're not invited? Like, you're not invited. Get it to a point to where it's like, yeah, you're no longer needed. Like you're not going to be included in it. And so the one today was so profound. Like Nora and I, it's like Nora said, you might not think you're needed, but you could be highly needed and you don't even know it.
I think with the coffee connection aspect of it, what if it just be like it's not that you're not invited, you can come, whatever, because it's open to the community, but you're just not a part of the team. Like you're not a part of the core team. Like if you're not going to be a team player, then I guess you can not be a team member.
Mark may not be on anymore. I think we just lost electricity. So if you're on your phone, it works. I'm on my phone, so I can hear you.
Okay.
You so yeah. So
I
I'm
think we're
guessing
still recording though.
could be. Okay. Well, hopefully Mark will jump on his phone.
Right. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I think,
I-
unless people understand the whole team effort, I think they fail at being able to be a team. So some people are one-man teams, they just do their own thing and, they don't think about how it affects others.
Do you have any suggestions on how to, I guess, communicate that in a way that they'll receive it and be able to understand?
I'm not really sure. Yeah, Phil Mark said today or the other day that he didn't think he was a very good team person. I did not even think of him being not a very good team person. But in conversations, I realize that sometimes when the team does not do what they're supposed to do, he just jumps in. So, and he'll do it. And so does that make a good team person or does that give people an out?
Well, it could be looked at either way, but generally it makes people have an out then.
And there's a part of it that I feel that gets, a little bit like it's not like a black and white, like it gets a little bit dicey because it's like, what if, in my way of thinking, if you're a team, like stuff happens and, you don't plan on getting sick. You don't plan on, having your kid get sick or whatever. So some of it you can't really plan. And then other stuff you can. And so, you know, if you have something that's planned and you can, like kind of figure out a way to be there without being there or have all your ducks in a row to where your team members don't feel the weight as much of you. Like obviously you're still going to be missing, you know, at an event or at a meeting or whatever. Um but you've planned ahead and so the team doesn't feel the weight of you just being gone, just last minute. And some of the stuff you can't, like sometimes, I mean, life happens and you can't work around that, but other times, you know, like if you have in the back of your mind like if I'm not there or if I don't show up, if you can have compassion for the people that have to pull that weight because you didn't, you know, prepare for it, then I think that that's where the difference is, if that makes sense. So I guess maybe
Yeah,
it's
and I was thinking, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking like maybe in a situation where it's like, stuff isn't getting done, um, maybe it's more of an examination first as to, okay, so why isn't it getting done? Is it because people don't understand what they're like what they're asked, like they don't know where to start or they don't know what they're being asked to do? Um, they just don't know, or like, because then when you step in and then it's like, yeah, you're taking, but the team member should be saying, hey, like, I don't understand what you're wanting. Like, can you, help me understand so I can fulfill it? So it kind of like, there has to be communication, there has to be consideration, I think, in all of that, in building a strong team.
Right. I think sometimes when people work by themselves, and I'm one of those people, tend to question, just do things yourself. So, if I thought about, if we were more of a team, would we have the challenges that we have with those that work with us? I mean, when Jonathan died, if we were a team, we would all know what he did and we would be able to pick up the pieces. But sometimes, we didn't have all the information. And so we didn't treat each other as a team. We were more treating each other as an individual. And things got lost.
Right.
A team picks up the pieces. And if you don't know what pieces to pick up, that makes it hard.
Right. But it is easy to just, I mean, like each person kind of has their role. Um, and they play it well, so you kind of just get in this groove of, this is what I do and this is what they do, and you work well together, but then yeah, it it makes it so much harder if you don't have the three deep, or the person that can, I don't know, like it does, because it leaves a bigger hole, and then there too, it becomes all the more important for you to A, be there, or B, have made the preparations that needed to be made to have you, you know, I don't know, it could be anything. I mean, I guess nobody plans for a death, so that's a whole lot of everything going on at once. But if you have, something come up to where you can't be there, then I think a good team member would, make sure that things are put in place to where, um, like other team members wouldn't, like it would make their jobs as least painful as possible to step in, and then it goes both ways for everybody.
Right. Right.
Welcome back, Mark.
Thanks. Good to be back. So did you guys solve everything?
We solved all the world's team problems. Yep.
All right. So do you need anything from me?
So the question then becomes like, how do we, so for people that don't understand what it means to be a team, have never been part of a team, don't understand, how do you teach that, or how do you explain it in a way that they can understand it, receive it, and then obviously make a choice, I guess, if they want to be a team player or not, but to where they at least understand what it means, and how do you do that?
Well, I think it's like a survey. Like I think it's a Google survey where it's like it's what happened on Saturday. It's like Have you ever been like, what's your thoughts on being like, it's a survey. What's it thought to be about a team? Like, and then what are the benefits that you gain from the team? And what do you contribute to the team? Have you ever been part of a team? Maybe that's the first or second question. Have you ever been part of a team? Yes or no? Was it a good experience or bad experience? You know, if it's a good experience, why was it a good experience? If it's a bad experience, why was it a bad experience? And so it's helping people, like it's helping people.
Do you think that there's people that don't actually want to be a part of a team?
I I don't think so,
Why not?
because they're stupid. I mean, Mark, have you ever been part of a team? Let's say no. Are you parts of a team? Yeah. Do you want to be part of a team? No. Well, then why are you part of a team? Because I'm stupid. It makes no sense. Like, it's like I've heard for decades, you know, 10% of the people do 90% of the work on teams. I'm one of those 10%. And so,
So wait, are you saying you don't want to be part of a team?
no, I don't want to be part of a team
Why not?
because the team lets you down. They take advantage of you. They abuse you. They mistreat you. They get everything they can out of it, and then they abandon you. You
Yeah, but
know,
you're talking about coworkers. You're not talking about a team when you say that. That's not how
that's
a
the
team
only
member would treat another team member.
that's the only experience I've ever had as a team, Nora. I've never had an experience like you did at Bluegate when you were 14. I mean, yeah, I mean, I just never have. Any place, like any place when I was working when I was 14 too, but I worked as a custodian. It was me and one other guy who trained me. And so like it was a team of two. And so I've never, when I was at McDonald's, I mean, when people when I was on teams, Nora, and like Preferred Mortgage Associates, when I went ahead and was there, was I part of a team? Not, I mean, yes, but no. I mean, when the marketing manager let me down, that worked out really good for me. I just took his job. When the vice president of sales let me down, I just took his job. So so when people let me, so I get into positions where if a team member, yeah. So I mean, if if I could be on a team, if I could be on a team that I was really truly a team, like Mark, what's a team mean to you? And I would share this is what a team means to me. Oh my goodness. I'd feel like I was in heaven. And I don't even have to go ahead. Like I could do 90% of the work and I'd be fine as long as the person or people who are doing 10% of the work, that's all they could do. Like they're handicapped. I don't know. Like if they were doing the best they could do and I was doing 90% of the work, I'd be fine with that. I don't mind doing the work. But when they don't and they come up with reasons, this is why it was so significant with you. Like we accept people's reasons. And
I just
so,
had a thought.
what was your thought?
So I was thinking back on, okay, so how did this all work back when I was cleaning tables? And
Mhm.
I think that maybe, okay, so you said that Rosanna tells you that like you're just good at everything. So I've been told that too, and it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, um, in a sense. So, I think maybe, like training in a new person. I think there was a, in the beginning, you kind of had to slow down to the other person's, closer to the other person's level.
Right.
And then as long as they kept growing and
Right.
working towards getting like more efficient, faster, um as long as they kept like getting better or growing, and it depended on the person how fast that would happen, but as long as you could see improvement, you were willing to stay, to stay at that pace and try and like stay with them on it. But once they stopped doing that, it got frustrating, and then you just kind of overtook them. So it's like you just kind of took their job. Like, if you're not going to keep growing, keep improving, then I will do more of it, and then it becomes like you kind of just take over.
Right.
So I wonder if that's, I don't know, maybe that's the piece that's missing. Maybe our personalities tend to just not want to slow down in the beginning, and then we just continue to just stomp on people.
Right.
And then they're like, well, it doesn't even matter because they're going to do what they're going to do, and like they don't.
Right. And so it's just like Jonathan McKee. Like he pretended to go ahead and not be smart. He was really smart, but he pretended not to. I asked his wife, "Did you notice this about Jonathan?" She's like, "Yep." And she laughed. And she said, "I asked him that when we were married." So they got a divorce. And she said, she's like, I said, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, I asked him, like, Jonathan, you're so smart. Why do you act stupid?" And he had a reason. He says, "Because then people expect less from you." He's lazy. It's like, so in a way, it's really super smart because, I mean, they are smart. Lazy people are really super smart, just like addicts are. They're super smart, but they're not so smart. And so they go ahead and create a world where they can control everything. They get the benefits. They get the benefits. You know, it's like your mistress, or you're having a mistress, and so you get all the benefits without any of the responsibilities of having a wife. You know, and so people go ahead and want to be a part of a team, a group, so they want to feel like they're a part of something, but they don't want the responsibilities that go with it. So it's almost like we've got to say, like in Coffee Connection, that's a good thing. Like in Coffee Connection, this is the level that you're at. And so if you're going to be this level of a team, then this is the benefits that you get. And people like you and I, people like Elaine, um, like we just dive in and we're just committed. Like nobody walks us through. Like, do you want to do this? Do you do? Like we're just all in. Like I have a hard time, and I don't know why people, permit it. It just baffles me. Like, I have a hard time believing that tax season is harder for Jason than it is to go ahead and be a mom, an Amish mom of 5 kids with a farm. You know, like, I have a hard time. So if Elaine can make it, why can't Jason make it? I don't understand it. But people just let him. And when he's so, and so it's just, so if you allow people to do that kind of stuff, and it's like maybe you just go ahead and say, you just make it. I mean, I just, so what happens is when people go ahead and see, one person in the classroom can misbehave, all of a sudden everybody starts misbehaving. When you see one person can be lazy, then everybody starts to be lazy. So you're a catalyst. So for whatever reason, like Elaine, she's engaged and she does stuff. She's out there. She's consistent. She's working her tail off. She jumps in. She does stuff she doesn't want to do or doesn't feel comfortable, not good at doing whatever. She doesn't complain or whine. She dives in. You know? And so that helps me a lot. You come along, well, you're different. So you're different. You've got this expressive part of you. And typically the expressive stays around, through the easy times and the fun times and when it gets messy and hard and everything else. So you are analytic, but you're not. Like, I don't know what was I gone 2 or 3 months, or I don't know, I was gone for few months, and you didn't whine. You didn't say, Mark, this isn't fair. Mark, you didn't do this. You didn't. You worked hard. I'm going to get him to come back. And you did. You did. And it's not that my thinking was wrong, but it wasn't fair to you. And as soon as I understood it wasn't fair, everything changed. But I just had missed it. I just had missed. So you came in, you seemed so confident, you seemed like you're capable, you didn't whine, you didn't complain, you didn't moan and groan. So, I took advantage of you and didn't realize it. And I think people take advantage of you a lot. I think people take advantage of me a lot. I think people take advantage of Elaine a lot. I think people miss Rosanna. I don't. I mean, she wanted to be an interesting person. Years ago, she and Jonathan both wanted to be an interesting person. But I don't know that she's willing. To me, she's very interesting. Even after 41 years of marriage, she's still very interesting to me. But she's not willing to do the work, from my perspective. She's not willing to do the work to be outwardly interesting. There are some weaknesses that she has that make her that hold her back. And by and large, nobody's going to tell her. So they either don't see it or they're not going to tell her about those weaknesses because she trains them like Jason trains. Harley Miller is calling. I think I should take that. I'll be back.
Interesting. I was gonna text Elaine and say, "Are you without electricity too?" I realized you have a generator. Lucky girl.
That's right.
And I text Ginger Ann and she says, You want to come over here? Because they have solar now.
I can tell you why you're out of electricity. There's a tree down across the road that they chopped up about halfway between you and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. They said there's 352 members out without all electricity. There's like 20,000 total. So. All right, well, maybe they'll fix that soon enough, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Are we still recording? Do you know?
I think so.
Yeah. The recording button's there.
So okay, so if so Rosanna, let me ask you, what what would make you, let's say for Coffee Connection, what would make you not want to come? Or like not come or not feel the need that you have to be there? What would be the core of that?
I think it would be if I'm just not needed. I find ways to be needed. So, you know, I maybe in the kitchen or watching the Munchkins or helping my daughters or so I think it's if I don't feel that there's a need for me to be there or if I'm causing issues to be there.
Okay.
I don't know if that would be an issue. I don't know if I'd be able to cause issues. If maybe I've had maybe I'm in one of those Rosanna modes, which I get to. You can ask Marco, those modes aren't real great. But normally when it comes to being around people, those modes don't show up as well.
But if
So
you
I think it
were
would be
part
where
of
it's
it,
not needed. Go ahead.
if you were part of a team and your mere presence was just enough for the rest of the team, wouldn't that be something that you would want to make sure that you're there because of, your presence would make the team feel supported or whatever just by having you.
I think I would come. I think the only reason I wouldn't come is if somebody asked me not to be there.
So what if that's the missing piece of people like thinking that, yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm there or not. And they don't understand, what if we suck at making sure people know that they are bringing benefit? Um if they have a tendency to think like, "Oh, well, I'm not needed anyway, so I might as well not even go." Like, what if we suck at conveying that to people that, hey, like you are actually like just you being there is like important or is like valuable to the rest of us.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that having people understand that, um, you know, they make a difference being there. I don't know how you do that. I mean,
Well, here's a novel thought.
I guess
Maybe they
something
don't
novel.
make it. Like this is what we were talking about. Like, do you understand that you can make a difference? It could be really important that you're there and you don't even know it. Like you could be significant, you don't even know it. Do you understand that? Or worse, is you're not significant. How about be significant? So this is moms or dads or different. Moms tend to be encouragers and saying, "Hey, you're amazing," when you're really not. You're really not. You're a good boy. You're really not a good boy. You're a bad boy. Like moms tend to go ahead and nurture, and they bring their kids along through affirmation and saying, and sometimes it actually works. They become what their mom said or their dad, whoever is the encourager. And so I think that's important. But what's more important is for people to go ahead and be significant. Like you go ahead and become significant. You become a part of the team. You become a part of the solution. Like John Henderson said, when you're starting, oh, Harley, when I got on, he says, "You're hired as my lawyer."
Nice.
Right. So he decided he hadn't heard from him, so he called him. He said he picked up Mark on the second ring. He's coming out on Tuesday. If we like it, everything's going. He said, "Thank you so much. You're my attorney." I mean, it's kind of crazy how things can be done. Anyways, going back to the other, yes, we want to help people realize, but what's more important is you can be significant and not know it. That's not good. That's because you're not paying attention. Or worse, you're not significant. You could be, but you're not. That's not somebody else's job to make you significant. It's not our job to go ahead and make Coffee Connection change your life forever. That's not our job. It's your job. Like, we're there to help you, support you. We're going to, like Tony Davis said, Mark, you and I have set the table. Now it's the responsibility of the salespeople to come and eat. It's their responsibility. You and I set the table. Isn't that weird, Nora? I can't wait till I see Mel the next time. He was so proud. Well, I don't know. It seemed like he was proud that you could go ahead and flip a table in 45 seconds. And here, when he's talking about that or whatever that number was, he knew that number, what that number was. I was like, dang, that guy's good.
You mean cleaning tape? Oh, like in the restaurant?
Uh huh. He knew how many seconds it took from the people getting up and a new couple and then somebody else sitting down. He knew how many seconds that was. It was amazing. I mean, and here, like that was a year and a half ago that he said that, maybe 2 years, a year to 2 years ago, he said that at one of the meetings. He said, yeah, it takes 55 seconds to go ahead and flip a table. I'm like, what?
I would have forgotten that, but I do know that we used to time it and we
Yeah,
used to try to beat, and there's certain team members that if they were working together, they just flowed better together and they could flip. I mean, we could have a table flipped in like,
right,
which is why then we got like, it was crazy because I don't normally busters don't get tipped,
right,
but we got tipped and it would tick off the some of them. It would tick off the servers that we would get tipped, but we're like,
right,
well, we don't really know what to tell you.
right,
um,
right. Right. I mean, it's just weird to me, that whole thing. And this is what's even stranger. I'm like, I've been telling people, like, you can have a life-changing moment anytime, anywhere, and it comes out of nowhere. And it comes through consistency, consideration, and competency. That's new, but it's there. So we've been telling. Now we have a moment, and here's a moment. Here's the moment where Mark sucks at building teams. So you'd think that people would go like think people would go ahead and learn, but do they? No. And I don't understand why.
I think they do if they want to.
I
If
know,
they
but they
want to
don't.
learn, they
Right,
can.
right. But they don't want to learn. And I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. So on the way home from, pickleball today, um, I was talking to Rosanna about tonight and the date night and stuff. And so I talked to her about the gas and I talked to her about, dinner tonight. And so it's like this is what I don't understand. Like, why don't people like try things? Why don't they consider things? Why don't they Like, and she said what she said, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. So I have a good idea of what, I have a good idea of what she says and what she feels, and she's good and everything, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, here I'm demonstrating humility. Hey, in front of everybody. Hey, I suck. Like, why don't people say he doesn't have ego? Like, he's willing to say, yeah, nope. Like, he's looking for how can he be a better husband and a father and a leader. Like, he is. He's really looking, and he's trying new things. And so I would think, but maybe you ladies can help out because, what was it with Nora? There was something with Nora. Can't believe I forgot it. Like, Jason is the cake, like the ice cream cake. Did Rosanna? I'm sure Rosanna shared with you. She's never going to question my wisdom and insight again, ever.
Why not?
So, because I was looking out the window and I said, "Yep." She says, "Wow, the water's up there." I said, "Well, it's about 3 inches above the deck." She's like, "Oh, it's way more than that." I said, "Are you going to go out and measure it?" So she didn't. Naturally, I go out and measure it. And how much did it come in at? 3 inches precisely. Not 3 1/4, not 2 3/4. It was 3 inches. Two, like, will she go ahead and learn from that and say, why do I even question Mark? Like, the guy knows the inches on the water. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. So I don't understand. Like, why don't people want to grow? Why don't people want to learn? So, when you think of the, like, this is like, it's almost like Mark's just making this up. Mark's just making it up. Like, why don't they go and say, wow, I could be the next Nora? Like, she's not feeling good. She didn't need to be there. And she definitely didn't need to be there for the other. But it's almost like, Nora, they don't want you to succeed. They want you to be a crab in the bucket. Not Elaine, but the others. Not all of them, and to varying degrees. But it's like you show them up, and it's like, if you really went ahead and if you really understood, if team meant to you, if team meant to you what it means to Nora, you'd come during tax season. You just would. Like, Jason went ahead and took Elena out on a date for tax season when he was in tax season, which is great. So he's able to do it. I mean, he's able to, if you were to look at all of the time he put in and all where he puts it in, it just shows on how low in the totem pole the coffee connection is.
Okay, so let's address this because I'm sure this would come up. So, let's say for Jason, so what about his team at Compass? What would you say to that? If it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but I have a team at Compass too, and if I'm not there, then what does that do to them?
Okay, so what do you think I'm going to say?
Maybe it'd work the same way. So if you're not gonna be at an event or at a meeting, you prepare in ahead of time to make sure that your absence is as least painful for everybody involved as it can be.
So that's one thing. It could be. Another thing is bring your whole team.
Right, you just have to make sure that that doesn't negatively affect the whole team then too. Like you have to
How do you
prepare.
do that? How do you do that? The whole team becomes part of it. You you have to do some work. So you go ahead and use it as a reward, as an opportunity to go ahead and have fun, to do something else, to have a break, to learn. Like, but again, because they've never tracked 24/7 for 3 months, they don't realize they don't have a gift. So Jason went through the 30-day challenge, but it wasn't because he wanted to learn. It was because he was compelled. It was forced. His daughters went through. His 3-year-old and 4-year-old daughter went through it, so he better go through it. You don't hear him referencing it at all. He talks about 10x and he doesn't reference that. So it's almost like the amiable, they get into your heart a little bit and then they take advantage of you, you take advantage of them, and there's this codependency where everybody's taking advantage of everybody else. Anita, did you have something?
Um, like mean for the 2 o'clock meeting or for something else?
Yes, for the two. Is there a 2 o'clock meeting?
Yeah, we've
I
been
don't know.
recording for like an hour already, but yeah, it is the 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, we have a 2 o'clock on Friday. Yeah, I knew that. Um, all right. So this is a great start. I love that you guys ran, electricity goes out, you guys ran without me. So now we have to put some teeth into it. So what you do is it's like the innovators, your early adopters. So you're going to have, so who's going to buy into this the most? And then at the end of the Crazy Dancing Man, everybody's going to be part of it because they don't want to be left out. And I don't know about Nora, but for me, as soon as everybody's a part of it, then I go ahead and start dancing somewhere else. So, anyways, all right. Awesome, awesome. Let's see here.